Well, welcome everyone to World of Wildlife. This is our monthly meeting. We meet every single month with wildlife lovers throughout the world, and we're here to discuss wildlife matters. So we have a few different things that we discuss. We have a different guest speaker every single month. And the way this works is I'll give you a bit of an update as the host. I'll give you an update on what I've been doing for the last month. Then I'll hopefully pass over to Dr. Wong Siew Te, who's my co-host. He's not here just yet, but he should be very shortly. He'll give us an update on what's going on in Borneo with the bears and what's actually happening there, what he's been up to. And then we'll pass over to our guest speaker. Our guest speaker for this month is Albert Teo, who is also in Malaysia. He's going to be talking to us about reflections of creating an eco resort and business in Malaysia. And I'm really, really excited to have Albert here because he's got almost a half a century worth of knowledge and experience in ecotourism. So very, very excited to have him here. Thank you very much, Albert.
Thank you.
So I'd love to tell you a little bit about what I've been doing. Usually I would share slides to do that, but today I'm just gonna talk to you instead. So I write books. I write books that so far have all been about Borneo. They've all been about my friend Dr. Wong Siew Te and his incredible life trying to save the wildlife in Borneo from extinction. He's focused on sun bears because his master degree and his doctorate all focused on sun bear protection. And I wrote his biography, Saving Sun Bears, as my doctorate. So I focused on how we can use narratives to actually help save the world, I guess, basically by using narratives to engage people in conservation. And once I'd finished writing his biography, which was published in 2020, I started working with Wong on a series of children's books about his adventures in the jungle with different species. So there are 6 books now. There's one that focuses on sun bears, orangutans, bearded pigs, pygmy elephants, fig wasps, Sumatran rhinos, and I think that was it. Did I say 6? I think so. So some of the people here have been instrumental in that process. One being was the artist, the illustrator for the last book, Wildlife Wong and the Sumatran Rhino. So thank you for being here, Wen Bing. It's awesome. A lot of other people that come on a regular basis have worked with Wong or visited Wong at the Sun Bear Center. Peter, for instance, how many times have you visited or been a volunteer, Peter? You can show us with fingers if it helps.
7 times.
7 times Peter has been a volunteer at the Sun Bear Center. So he's doing pretty well. It's probably the most of anyone, I think. Would you agree? So we didn't have a World of Wildlife last month. And the reason we didn't have one was I was gallivanting around the world. And I'm very, very excited by what I was doing. I'm going to share my screen for a moment just to show you a couple of pictures, hopefully. I'll stop sharing if I need to. But the main 2 things that I got up to while I was gone was visiting the Galápagos Islands and spending a week aboard this incredible boat, the Samba, which traveled around the Galápagos Islands, seeing all the incredible wildlife there. Now, I've wanted to go to the Galápagos since I was 10 years old. So this was what I did to celebrate my 60th birthday. And it was the best week of my entire life. I'm going to put all those thoughts together, and I'm going to be the guest speaker, not next month, but the month after. I'm going to be your guest speaker and take you on a tour around the Galapagos. While I was in South America, I also visited Machu Picchu and did a 5-night, 6-day hike around the Salcantay area, which was quite impressive. So I'll give you a little bit of information about that too. But back to the wildlife. One of the things that I want to tell you about when I actually get to talk to you about the Galapagos is about how Ecuador has actually put wildlife first in their policy making. And this is extraordinary. It's one of the only places in the world, or perhaps the only place in the world, that has put nature first. And we can learn so much from the Galapagos. What this means is that all the animals in the Galapagos are not afraid of humans. And when I heard that, I thought that meant I probably wouldn't need to take my binoculars, you know. What it actually meant is that I would have to step over animals. If you're in the islands, you have to move around them because they're not going to move. So these pictures were taken on my phone. Yeah, most of them are taken without a zoom on my phone, a digital zoom or anything. You can see on the left-hand side, you can see a frigate bird who is blowing up his chest to try and attract a female to land from the sky. You can see a penguin, and behind the penguin is actually a mangrove. This is the only place in the world that you can see penguins and mangroves in the same ecosystem. And you can see a very beautiful baby sea lion, which has just been born. There you see blue-footed boobies. You can see all sorts of other types of boobies. I loved this booby because it was telling me the way. And we kayaked a lot and saw incredible species like different turtles, all sorts of things. So I'm gonna keep you excited when I talk about these creatures. While I was there, I also spent 3 days working with the Galapagos Science Center in San Cristobal. I did 2 events there. I ran a workshop for the scientists at the Science Center on using narratives to engage non-scientists in conservation and teaching them the tools that they could actually use to spread their science a bit further than academic circles. I then also was lucky enough that the creators of Bear Trek, Chris Morgan, allowed me to show Bear Trek to the people at the Galapagos Center. So we had an evening film night. This film features Dr. Wong Siew Te and his work with sun bears, and it's an incredible, beautiful film. If you haven't seen it, I certainly recommend it. Since coming back, there's me in the workshops, and there's some of the people that came to the workshops and worked with me at the Galapagos Center. While I was away, though, you guys helped Emily and me to actually reach our Kickstarter goal on my next book, Curious Kai Asks Why. Now, as a publisher as well as the author, I am responsible for the entire sort of process of publishing, and part of that is finding the money to actually print. What we did with this campaign is it allowed people to pre-purchase their copies of Curious Kai Asks Why and pre-purchase other things that they wouldn't be able to get normally, like school visits and online school visits and things like that. We got more than 100% funded. Emily, what number did we end up with? Do you remember?
So we ended on 120% funded.
So thank you to all of you that actually put your hand in your pocket, signed up and pledged to actually get this book in front of people. Curious Kai is obviously a curious young girl who travels around Queensland meeting scientists and species that she can learn from in order to save the world. This book is now gone to the printer, and we'll have it in our hot little hands pretty soon. We will have 3 launch events in person throughout Queensland, but most important for you guys, we also will have an online launch, which will be open on the 15th of September. I'm going to send you some details to that. And once you actually register to watch the launch, you'll be sent the private launch video link, and you'll have an entire week to watch it, and watch it as many times as you like. So I'll give you more information on that as we go. Since I got back, I've had a couple of events in schools, and this one, which was a really lovely park event run by a counsellor in Brisbane. That young woman on the right-hand side is the youngest counsellor in Queensland, and she's really engaging her constituents by running events. And she ran this event about books. So it was a very cool event to be a part of. I've got a really, really big couple of weeks coming up. Next week, or starting tomorrow, is National Science Week in Australia. So I'll be in schools 4 out of 5 days this week doing workshops with kids around the wildlife Wong stories and books. And then the week after that, it gets back to back. It gets to be Australian Book Week. And the theme for this week is book and adventure. I'll be in schools for 4 out of the 5 days for that one too. So I'm hoping that by the end of 2 weeks, I've still got a voice. Fingers crossed. I'll keep you posted and I'll tell you how I go for next time. I'd love to do, because we swapped things around a bit, I'd love to pass over to Dr. Wong Siew Te to tell us what's actually going on in Borneo in relationship to sun bears. Hi, Wong. Nice to see you here.
Hi. Sorry, I was a little bit busy just now, and thank you very much for speaking, Albert. Wonderful to tell the story. And I was actually at your lodge back in 1999, and then Suhaili was my guy back then. You see, way back more than 25, 26 years ago. So amazing journey. And I still remember the first time when I was in your lodge, every visitors in Albert's lodge, you need to wear sarong to have dinner.
Did
They
you?
still
You had to
do.
wear a
Yes.
sarong.
No sarong, no dinner.
Yes, they still do. But they eat dinner still.
Yeah, which is very good. You have
Very
to,
good. They all enjoyed it.
Yes, very easy. Yeah. So this is a very innovative way to make foreigners to enjoy the local lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay, and for me, I think our parts, everything is running in Tabin. The two bears is the two Sunbear Captinum and Pitang, they are doing well. And although starting from last week, the elephant is coming back. It's elephant season. So there is a herd of close to 50 elephants was hanging around that area, and then create some minor damage. So we have been very cautious about the elephant present. And then I do have news about the bears that we released early this year on March. Itam did not make it, I have to say. She was found dead. Yeah, Itam was released on March 10, and then she did not make it. We found her body, actually only the bones remains last month. And then apparently we think she was climbing a tree, and she fell down and then hit the backside, the hip bones, her hip bones and her tailbone displaced, broken. And then so she was yeah the site where we found her, there was a trees with claw marks, and there's a hole. And then so we thought she was trying to climb a tree, and then she fall down and then injured herself and then stay there, so she did not make it. So it makes everybody very, very sad after all the hard work. Yeah. So hopefully our soft release program with Pitang and Tinom would have a better success for our rehabilitation. So again, right now I need to depends on nature-based tourism to help conservation, because we need to help the local people have a jobs, so that they don't go and hunt, so that they can appreciate the wildlife that running wild. I'm sure Albert agree with me, especially with the establishment of the Utan Lodge, we in the eastern tip of Tabin, where there's no patrolling or whatever. So the presence of tourists is extremely important. Right now, we cannot choose who enter the forest, but at least we can choose what kind of people, go into the forest, because we cannot stop people going to the forest. Yeah. And then as for our center, the constructions for our entrance foyer, phase 2 and phase 3 are starting as we speak. So hopefully by the end of the year, by November or so, the entrance foyer will be completed, and we have a brand new entrance to welcome the visitors. And because next year is a very exciting year for us, Visit Malaysia year, Sun Bears, Wira and Manja being chosen as the mascot. So we expect lots of crowd, and hopefully with the amount of tourists that coming to Sabah or Malaysia, and we will experience less poaching activities and makes the wildlife great again. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. So can you expand on that information about Visit Malaysia year and the two bears being chosen? Tell us more.
So Visit Malaysia year, the Malaysia government through the Tourism Malaysia is the quasi government agency that promote tourism in Malaysia. over the years, they have chosen several certain years as Visit Malaysia year. The last Visit Malaysia year is supposed to be 2020, but what is coming is the pandemic. So that Visit Malaysia is kind of failed. And then so again, 2026 Visit Malaysia year is where the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, MOTAC, through the Tourism Malaysia, the quasi NGO, the quasi agencies that help promote tourism in Malaysia, actively promote Malaysia as a destination for tourisms.
Yeah.
And then over the years, they have chosen different animals as the mascot. And this year, next year, 2026, they choose two sun bear, cartoon sun bear called Vira and Manja. And then so that was chosen because of the current General Secretary of Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture. He has came here before. Our center, a big part of the construction fund come from the ministry, come from the ministry, and then he came to visit us and learn about sun bears, and then he's the one who proposed the governments to use sun bears as the logo. So who they did, and then the artists who designed these two sun bears are very, I think he did a good job, you know. And then these two sun bear, Vira and Manja, and very, very lovely, very, very cuddly, and everybody loves it. And
That sounds great.
Yeah, and then there has been actively promote Visit Malaysia year in many, many countries already across the world. So hopefully next year there will be more people coming in, and hopefully with the people coming in, there will be more jobs being created, and then less poaching. And then only when people are happy, the wildlife will be happy too.
Fantastic. It's so good to hear, because you had a few very, very challenging years with COVID, and it's really good to see that things are coming back, and the sun bear's taking prominence where it belongs.
Yes. Yeah.
Fantastic. Has anyone got any questions for Wong?
Okay, no. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. You're now, if you're new today, then you're now part of this World of Wildlife family, and we'll let you know when the next one is. We meet on the 10th of every single month. The time changes, but we meet on the 10th. And the time changes so that people from around the world can come at different times. So please come again. Our speaker for next month, I can actually announce now, is going to be Matthew Connors, who's an entomologist from far north Queensland, who's actually one of the scientists featured in my new book, Curious Kai Asks Why. And Matthew is a young man who has actually named 2 species already. And he's only in his, he's under 30 and he's named 2 species. So he's not doing too badly. I think you'll love him. He's really exciting. So please mark your diaries for the 10th of next month. And this video will be available on YouTube very shortly. If you'd like to subscribe to the YouTube channel, I would really love it. We need to get our numbers up there. So please subscribe, like and connect in all the ways that you can, so that we can build this community a little bit bigger as we go. Thank you so much for being here, everybody, and hopefully see you next month.